Sessions Cafe with your host, Keri D. Singleton.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sessions Cafe. I'm your host, Keri D. Singleton, and today we have the honor of having Angelique Negroni Kearse and Joshua Lopez on the Black Couch. This story is very, very intense and very important, so I hope that you guys tune in with an open heart and with open ears. Welcome to the show, both of you. It's an honor to have you both on the show.
Thank you.
I know the guests are probably like, why does he look so sad? But your stories are not just necessary, but they're fascinating and they are deeply painful to me. The things that you've experienced, no person should have to go through, but your resilience has made you both so strong and so full of awesome information that I'm just really, really honored to have you both here. So thank you so much for sitting down with me.
Thank you as well.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. So first and foremost, Angelique, 2017, your husband Andrew passed away, although that's not really, when I think of people passing away, it's usually from some disease or something to that effect. He didn't really pass away, he was murdered, okay?
Yes.
And I want to give you an opportunity first, because I'm old school, and I believe ladies first, to give us a synopsis of what happened in upstate New York in 2017.
Andrew, who just came home from doing 2.5 years and only lasted 15 days, he begged over 70 times within 15 minutes just to die in the back of the police car from cardiac arrest.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I know you ran through that a little quickly. Mm-hmm. How did he end up in a police car?
He, from eating a red light. And yes, he, like I said, he just came home.
Right.
So
From prison?
Yeah, from prison.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he went upstate to visit a friend.
Mm-hmm.
And he ate the red light and he ran like, black and brown people do.
Yeah.
Because,
like we all do occasionally. Yeah.
Yes, you know what I'm saying? And when they catched him, he was indicating that his leg hurt, and that's one sign stating that you're having, a heart attack, which they ignored his pleas, and they placed two officers placed him in the cop car, and he's there. You can see on the dash cam. If your audience haven't seen it, and you know what I'm saying, and you see him, he was very polite. If you was in that situation, what would you do? Would you, try to kick? Would you, curse the officer out, or But he had manners.
Right. He was cordial with the
officer, saying, "Officer, please, I'm begging you, please," literally begging for his life.
Right.
And the officer just ignored his pleas, saying that at one point Andrew was like, "I'm gonna throw up in my, I feel like throwing up," and the officer work week, so was like, "Don't throw up in my car." Breathe. And then he's like, "You shouldn't have ran." And
ran the red light.
He shouldn't have ran. Meaning he said, "Catch your breath," because he ran away from the officer.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? So he's like, "You shouldn't have ran. You should have, catch your breath." And he's there like, "Can you open the window? I can't breathe." And officers, they're trained to say that if you're speaking, you're breathing.
You can breathe, yeah.
And which is not true,
right,
because he was speaking and he's not here.
Right. So, but initially this was over a traffic stop.
Yes.
Initially.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
And we're going to get into exactly what happened, because there's a whole medical piece to this that has to be addressed. And Mr. Lopez, you and I actually first met back in 2022 at the Eric Garner Street renaming on Staten Island. I don't know if you remember. But that's the first time that you and I met.
So I was there too.
Yeah, I was there with Pamela Brooks, who was the mother of Amir Brooks, whose son was killed in Maryland in 2014.
Yes.
And then you and I met again, trying to look at my notes here, in 2023 at the ERIC initiative event on Staten Island. Trayvon Martin's mother was there, Sabrina Fulton.
Yes.
And of course it was hosted by Gwen Carr, who's Eric Garner's mother. So you and I have seen each other a lot. I remember your tattoo.
Yes.
You, brother, have definitely been, I don't want to say a freedom fighter, but certainly an advocate for, well, I'm going to put it bluntly, police accountability.
Correct.
Your story initially begins because of something that happened with your uncle.
Yes, that's correct. But I actually, when I was a kid back in 1992, there was an uprising in my neighborhood, Washington Heights, because police killed somebody in my neighborhood. And the people were upset. They were tired of police brutality and their voices not being heard. So an uprising started, and I was 13 years old at the time. But at that time, I wasn't well informed. Like, so many people get killed by police every year, like at least 1,000 plus people get killed a year. In America.
Yeah.
So I wasn't aware of these things. All I knew is I witnessed a police brutality in my neighborhood for a long time as a kid. And when I seen the people finally rising up, I joined the people because I seen what happened with policing before.
But then let's also talk about what happened to your uncle, because that cemented the beginning of what I would call a career in advocacy. What happened to your uncle?
Yes, back on September of 2011, my uncle was cooking a lasagna for his wife and 2-year-old son. So he was missing an ingredient for the food he was cooking. He went to the grocery stores to go buy the ingredients.
Yes, sir.
And a lady in his neighborhood, they all knew my uncle, John Claro, as a peaceful guy, trying to help others.
Yes.
So a lady stopped him, and she said a fight is breaking down right by the neighborhood. And can he do something about it? Can he help? So that was his intention, to go separate what he thought was a regular street fight. And one of the individuals fighting was an undercover police officer who he had no idea. The police officer never identified himself. And as my uncle got in between both men,
trying to separate
them, both men, one of the officer pulled out his weapon and shot my uncle. And, my uncle had no idea he was a police officer. He's undercover.
Right.
And supposedly what I learned later on through the years is that this cop had done undercover work on his own, because he had a team. And, they required to carry a radio and a walkie-talkie and a phone. He didn't use any of that to notify his team that he needs backup or anything. He just took it upon himself He took it upon himself because he witnessed the man he was fighting with supposedly selling marijuana. And then he started fighting with him when the guy had tried to avoid arrest, and a fight ensued. And my uncle had no idea what was going on. He just thought it was a regular street fight. So he jogs back to where the fight is happening, about 15, 20 feet away, and he tried to separate them. He got in between both of them, and the cop ended up shooting them. And we learned, like, 2018 or 19, that a lot of evidence surfaced that we didn't know about. But the NYPD most likely knew everything that we found out years later. Like, there was a camera that surfaced, and the cop was actually lying that my uncle had him from behind in a chokehold. And his own partner testified in a civil trial that when he got to the scene, my uncle and him and the cop was facing each other when he pulled the trigger. The officer, forensic evidence proved the cop was lying. A video surfaced proved he was lying. But the NYPD, with all this information, they never held them accountable.
Right.
So
which they would never do.
I used all the information that I found out in the civil case. I filed a CCRB complaint. CCRB is Civilian Complaint Review Board.
For the New York City Police Department.
Yes. they don't work too well holding cops accountable. But
yeah, tell me about it.
Yeah, but I still filed the charges to see if what can I do.
Yeah.
So the NYPD gave the police officer that killed my uncle a heads up that he was being investigated by the CCRB, and he was in jeopardy of losing his job because of all the evidence we had against him.
Right.
So he ended up quitting his job before he could get fired. That way he won't lose the whole pension, and he gets to hold on to some type of pension. And you know, as a police officer who resigned, he could easily get another job in the police department in in another borough like New Jersey that's not too far.
Right, exactly. We're gonna get back to you, Josh, but that was basically how it started for you. That was your journey. That was the beginning of your awakening, I will say. How old were you when that happened?
This happened nearly 15 years ago. So I was about 32 years old at the time.
Okay. Angelique, if I'm at a loss for words, just because there's so many questions that I just want to ask you, but I want to be sensitive about your situation. Even though you have been successful in turning your pain into purpose, it's still painful.
Yes, it is.
Understand that losing a loved one to cancer, to a car accident, to diabetes, they're all painful. But there's something different about losing your husband.
Yeah, it's different.
To a situation that easily could have been avoided, and that was perpetrated by law enforcement. How have you gotten through that? I mean,
you don't.
You don't.
You don't, because it's an empty hole that's never going to be fulfilled. So when somebody says, oh, because, sometimes they tell us, oh, when are you going to get over it, or when are you going to move on? Don't tell no family member that, because we're not.
Right.
Because we go any anniversaries, any birthdays, any kind of, how can you say, achievement with children or anything like that,
right.
We go back to day one. You know what I'm saying? So anything like I can't hear, I can't breathe, because
right.
it affects us. You know what I'm saying? Right. We go through PTSD, depression, anxiety, and a lot of people don't understand that. Right. I have 7 children. You know what I'm saying? And my children, especially my youngest, which her name is Serenity, and we call her Buttercup, she don't have a dad.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's wrong why the Officer Mark Weeks, he got married. Right. You know what I'm saying? He moves on with...
He has a life.
Yeah, he has a life.
He just moved on.
You know what I'm saying? And we get affected by it, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I say, if you want a life of crime with no jail time, just be a cop. And it shouldn't even be.
We got a lot more to talk to these two courageous people about, and we'll be right back after this break. And we're back with our deep dive in conversation with Angelique and with Joshua. Angelique, let's talk about the Andrew Kearse Foundation, which obviously you named after your late husband. It even hurts my heart to even say late husband. I'm sorry, sweetie.
No, it's okay. Thank you. I thank you, because usually people call me widow, and I don't like that, because widow is like you said, from natural causes. Right. Murder is something. So I always say I'm the wife.
Right. I'm
the wife, and I'm gonna stay the wife.
Exactly.
Not the widow.
Yes, ma'am.
But yeah, I have the Andrew Kearse Foundation, and that was I think I founded in I believe 2020 when we also have a law passed in Andrew Kearse honor as well.
Great.
Thank you.
What's up.
And that's the Andrew Kearse Act.
Can you give us a little bit of
the
explanation of what that law is? Yes, ma'am.
It's called the Andrew Kearse Act, and that states that it's in New York City. It got passed in 2020, which I have the law itself, and for the kids as well.
Good.
And that states that if anybody needs any kind of medical assistance, the officers or COs, because when you're locked up, they don't believe you as well, they'll be held accountable and get a civil charge. We also went for it nationally, and that's called the Andrew Kearse Accountability Act, and that's nationally, and that went to the Senate floor, read twice, and each and every year they got to reintroduce, which it got reintroduced, and once it passes a presidency, and it'll be criminal and civil.
Civil, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if Andrew had to die in the manner that he did to save lives, he didn't die in vain.
Die in vain.
Yeah.
Now, can you clarify a bit? The law states that if an individual
has any kind of medical distress, like if they say I can't breathe, or if they have a asthma attack, like for instance there was a pregnant female, she was giving birth in the prison, and the officers, they wasn't believing her and stuff like that. So this, you could have them, you could sue them, you gotta, for right now it's civil, in New York State.
Right.
But when it goes nationally, it'd be criminal and civil.
Civil. But basically what it states is that, because we keep going off on a tangent, when a person is in custody,
any kind of medical distress,
what needs to happen?
They need to
the officer
they needs to bring them to the hospital.
Okay.
Yes.
Right.
They need to bring them.
They can't just ignore it.
They can't ignore it.
Okay.
They can't. I would see, like Eric Garner said, I can't breathe.
Yes.
And then it was Andrew, I can't breathe. And then it was George Floyd.
In Minneapolis.
It wouldn't. Yes.
Right.
And you know saying, so
they have to take that into account, whether they want to or not.
And they think they have too many hats.
Right.
You have to take the hat away.
Yeah.
You know saying, do your job. You know saying, you have they think they're judge, jury, and executioner, and they think that they're entitled to everything, and that's not. And you know saying, this we living in a nightmare, but this is our reality.
It is.
You know saying? So if you haven't went through it, you know saying, you couldn't relate.
You can't.
So he could relate to me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because he went through it.
Right.
So if you haven't went through it, you don't know what you know what I'm saying? You can't.
Mm-hmm. It is different. Like, my father was murdered 30 years ago, the day before Father's Day in Boston, where I'm from, right?
Yes.
And I've always said to people, some of my family members included,
Sorry to hear
losing a father or parent or a loved one, period, to murder is not the same as any other kind of loss. It's just different.
Yes, it is.
And even though, loss is loss, there's different variables.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I absolutely agree, because my best friend, she died from stage 4 cancer. This Thanksgiving made 1 year. She passed away.
God.
But it's a loss. I knew she was sick. It could happen that she was, and we planned for that, if anything, possibility. Yeah. But when it comes to police brutality and you got affected or murder, because you be like, oh damn, we still waiting for that person.
Right.
You're saying, like,
still waiting for justice.
Still waiting.
Right.
And the justice, some family gets justice. And also your audience needs to understand that they need to stop thinking that there's only 15 families that is in the world that got affected by police brutality. It's not.
Thousands.
And stop thinking it's moms and dads when people,
Kids.
It's families.
Right.
I'm a wife.
Right.
He's an uncle. He's a nephew.
Yes.
And stop thinking it's just moms and dads. Give us respect, because we feel bad.
Right.
You know how many times we have went to certain events and it's just acknowledged moms and dads? No, that's not right.
Yes, that's true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
It's
true.
family members. And we, you know what I'm saying? We're their voice.
Josh,
I'm sorry, Josh.
you like to burn flags.
Yeah, he does.
Correct, 100%.
Well, so for some people actually don't know that in the United States it's against the law to burn the American flag.
No.
Isn't it?
No.
No. It's protected
protected
by
by
the First Amendment, freedom of speech.
Oh, see,
Yes.
Thank you for
Yes.
educating me. So it's not against the law. I didn't know.
No. Anytime she would have got arrested.
So talk to me about your penchants for setting American flags on fire. And I must say this. My apartment complex in Staten Island has a big, ginormous American flag. Please don't set that on fire, because it might affect the neighborhood. But I'm just kidding. I'm not, but go ahead. But what's that all about? What is it? Is that's your form of protest?
I don't burn just any flag. I burn the American flag.
Right, yeah.
Because
the one that we have in my neighborhood is an American flag. So that's,
here in America, there's so much injustice going on, and especially to black and brown people. And you know what? Like maybe 90 or more % of the time, there's no justice done
That's right.
in America. So, you know, I see folks like, let's say, cops or right-wing people or government officials, they more concerned about me burning a flag than the bodies piling up in the streets.
Right.
And
Right.
nobody being held accountable for that.
Yeah.
So just like the ex-football player Colin Kaepernick,
Salute.
they were salute to Colin. They were upset with him taking a knee for the national anthem, but they wasn't upset about the bodies that being piled up in the street. So
They weren't upset about those cops that took a knee that killed a man in Minneapolis.
Exactly.
That's okay to take that knee.
Exactly. That's okay, but burning a flag or taking a knee for the national anthem is not okay
Right.
in their view.
Right.
So that's why I do that, because of the injustice going on in our country.
I love your courage, man. I love your courage.
But
Thank
not
you.
only he does that, this man is a walking monument.
I know. I mean, I
You
know,
know
but
what I'm saying?
I, just,
Like,
you know,
yeah.
I gotta
You-
pick
yeah.
stuff out
Yes,
here.
he is a
We could-
walking
we could-
monument.
We
He
could
got-
talk. We could talk all day. I mean, about
Yes.
his tattoos, which is what I'm
Yes.
going to get you next. But Angelique, I want to ask you, how do you, as a family, strengthen yourselves?
Well, like I said, I'm a mom of 7, but Andrew had 9 children. Total, we have 4 together. And I try to show them that that to speak for their father, to be there. You know what I'm saying? Not only for their dad. You know, like I said, me and Joshua, we go all around the world. You know what I'm saying? We go to other anniversaries. We're going in this April to another anniversary in Chicago.
Angelversary.
Yeah, we call it anniversaries. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And just be there for each other. You know what I'm saying? And I gotta be mom and dad. And it's very hard to be, you know, a single mom and stuff, especially my youngest, she's only 10. You know, like like I said, Andrew, he only lasted 15 days. Buttercup
Saha,
was,
that's right.
she was about to turn 2. You know what I'm saying? And he got killed May 11th. Her birthday was May 25th. And that's the same day as George Floyd died as well. So we're all family members, all connected somehow, some way. And like I said, if I didn't have, he's my rock. Sometimes when I'm down and stuff like that, I could call him up and be like, yo, Joshua, I feel some type of way or whatever. And like this coming April, it starts on the 4/25. It starts for me, those 15 days until he dies. So every day I start feeling like the same day and stuff like that.
It's like a fraternity, for lack of a better term, that nobody will want to be a part of.
Yeah, exactly.
But once you are a part of it, there's that, because
That bond.
largely society doesn't support.
Yeah,
largely.
they don't.
Many do, but most don't.
Yes.
Many don't.
But-
and I'm going to let you finish, but the like, you know, when Josh and I was at Eric Garner's the Eric Foundation, I was there with Trayvon Martin's mother and Pamela Brooks, a lot of people whose lives were devastated by police brutality and the lack of accountability behind it, because that's a whole separate piece.
Yes.
But I did feel together that day
The unity.
there was love
Yeah, the
and just
unity.
camaraderie, and that everybody in that room really needed that.
Yes.
You know what I mean? What were you gonna say?
I just look.
Oh yeah. Just I mean, but that togetherness,
Yes.
that bond that you guys give each other. When I say you guys, I
Yes.
mean
No,
people
yes.
who've been affected by police brutality. It's so important.
Yes.
It's so important, and I salute you both. Josh uses his body to protest. Now we're not going to have you take your shirt off here,
Usually I do that.
but what can you describe the tattoos that I've seen at the summer event that when we renamed Eric Garner's?
So I thought about maybe in 2019 or early 2000, or maybe, I'm sorry, right after the George Floyd murder, 2020. I thought about honoring my uncle, John Claro, who was killed by police. And as I thought about honoring him and by adding a tattoo with his name, I thought about so many other families that been affected the same manner as my uncle did, getting killed by police and not receiving any type of justice. So I thought about let me honor all these other families and try to put a smile to their face, make them happy, because we go through so much in life, especially after losing a loved one.
Absolutely.
So my first thought was getting a tattoo of a solidarity fist, because in our fight we always put our fists up in solidarity. So I thought about doing a tattoo with a fist, and I filled in the fist with names of people that have been killed by police. I covered my whole back with it. So throughout my years that I've been fighting, at least 15 years, I thought about so many other families that I have met in this fight, and I wanted to honor their loved one as well. So I continued with the tattoo. Once I finished the one on the back, it was maybe roughly 45 names. So I did another one on the front, on my chest and stomach, and it said, say their names. That's another thing we use, so people will never forget our loved ones' names. So I put the word "say their names," and inside the letters, I added names of people that have been killed by police.
It's disgusting that there has to be an addition of names.
Yeah. You know what's also sad, Keri, that my whole body, I don't think, could fill up 1 year of police killing, because it's about 1,000 people plus 1,000 plus killed by police every year. And on my body so far, I got the front filled, the back filled, and I have my left arm filled with names as well. And I only have about 300 and something names.
I want to conclude with saying, well, first and foremost, if people want to reach out to you, Angelique, for the in regards to the foundation, how can they reach you? Very quickly.
You can reach me on my email, andrew.kearse at Yahoo, and then you want to donate. And we also trying to give back urns and headstones, because it's hard on families. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be years that a family member doesn't have one, and you don't know if you're in wherever you at, you can't go through that gate because your name is not there. Yeah.
How can people reach out to you if they want to reach out to you?
On Facebook, I'm Joshua Lopez.
Okay.
And on Instagram, FUCK. I don't want to curse either. FUCK _ _ police 191.
Okay.
191.
Okay. I just want to say this. First of all, we're going to have to bring you back, both of you, because we have so much more to talk about.
Definitely.
But I just definitely want to thank the both of you, not only for sharing your stories with us, but for just being very strong. Because not everybody, there's no rule that says that you have to get through this with strength and with your chin up. A lot of people don't. A lot of people who have gone with what you all have gone through, or what you're going through, they have to go it alone because for whatever reason they're intimidated, or but you two have made strides and continue to make strides and have put your pain into purpose. And for that, I want to thank the two of you from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you.
We appreciate you.
Yes,
thank you. And thank you for giving us that voice.
Yes.
See, I don't even want to say goodbye.
Yes.
But we'll see you guys next week.
Sessions Cafe with your host, Keri D. Singleton.